Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live. Coming at you Wednesday night, little off-season talk. World Series Game 1 a couple of days away. Jays hosting the Dodgers. We'll give you our World Series predictions. We will also talk a little Rangers off-season, little Rangers hot stove, what we've been hearing. A few different things, I think, to address moving into the next few weeks as the off season after this World Series sure to heat up. Obviously, we'll take all of your comments and questions along the way. That's what I always like about these off season shows. Have an opportunity to hear from you guys, see what you're thinking. Always like trading ideas. So we're going to get into everything here in just a little bit. But first, here right on Rangers, we cover everything Texas sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Rangers. And yes, even in the offseason, and we thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Appreciate all y'all. Hey, look, Dallas Mavericks playing tonight as well. We'll talk a little Dallas Mavericks also. By the way, on the show here, we cover the Mavs, we cover the Cowboys, we cover the Longhorns, and of course the Rangers. Those are the core four. Dallas, of course, hosting the San Antonio Spurs here in about 30 minutes or so. Looking forward to watching Cooper Flagg's very first game. Had every intention of getting on here a little bit earlier, so understand if you got a jet to watch the Mavs game or just turn it on in the background. That's probably what I'm going to do, in all honesty, while the show is going on, have the Mavs game rolling. But I'm excited for a new season. Hope springs eternal at the beginning of the year, am I right? And this is a great month for sports, too. Look, I've finally kind of gotten into baseball at this point. I think even after, the Rangers had been out of it for a few days, it was just hard for me to get back into it. Like, I do genuinely enjoy postseason baseball, and I did watch Game 7 of the ALCS, and what a game that was. That was epic. Like, obviously I'm not a big Jays fan. I'm not a big Mariners fan by any stretch. But what a moment that was for George Springer hitting that 3-run bomb. I mean, it's hard. If you love baseball, it's hard not to appreciate that. And I think I told you guys from the jump, I know we've got some good people, Mariners fans that follow the show. I just could not bring myself to cheer for a division rival. I couldn't. And so I must admit, I'm okay with the result of Game 7. And I don't know that the Jays are going to stand much of a chance against the Dodgers. I'm going to get into my World Series prediction here in just a little bit. But I'm hoping that it's a good series. At this point, you guys know what I'm going to say. I've said it many times over the past month or so. I'm a fan of more baseball. And so I'd love to see this series go at minimum 6 games. Would love to see it go 7. Not sure it's going to happen, but here's hoping. Dodgers in 5. I hope it's not Dodgers in 5, Nate. It's good to see you, my guy. I would love to see Dodgers in 6, Dodgers in 7, or of course Jays in 6, Jays in 7. I would much prefer the Jays to win over the Dodgers. I'm not sure that I'm going to have a whole lot of oppositionists on that. Dodgers winning it last year. I'm all right if they lose this one. I never really enjoy watching the Dodgers do well anyways, but fresh off a World Series win last year, yeah, I'd like to see another team get the trophy at the end of this whole thing. So we'll see. I think my final prediction, I'll reveal in just a little bit, but I cannot see the Dodgers losing, if I'm being honest with you. Can't see them losing. Would love to be wrong. Would absolutely love to be wrong, but I'll give y'all my prediction here in just a little bit. Appreciate all you guys. Hey, let's continue on here. Let's get some comments going, and then I'll get into some of the topics that I have laid out for all y'all. Owen, what's good? Brian, what's up? How all y'all doing? Day's going pretty good now that I'm hanging out with you guys talking some Rangers baseball. Kenny, what's up, man? Hey, Caden, my guy. I'm sorry about the Mariners, bro. I'm sorry about them. Now, you absolutely fought your hearts out in that one. Game 7. That's painful. Appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Doing well, doing well. Appreciate all you guys. Brad, what's good? I'm still waiting for that Aggie loss. I am still waiting for that Aggie loss, man. I'm not sure we're going to get it before the Lone Star Showdown in Austin. I don't know about you guys. We'll see what happens. I need to look at A&M's schedule, but they just keep winning, man. I've given plenty of props to A&M, so trust me, this has not been a hate factory on Texas A&M here on the show. I mean, clearly we don't like them, but we've given plenty of respect, I feel. Plenty of respect. Raul, what's good, man? Yeah, I'm going to get into off-season moves here in just a little bit. Just going to say what's up to everybody. Eddie, go Spurs, go. Boo. Let's go, Mavs, baby. Let's go. It's going to be fun tonight. Wemby versus Flag. That's going to be a fun matchup, man. I'm excited for it. Real excited for it. We'll talk a little bit about it as the show's going on. Planning on going about an hour or so tonight. We're about 7 minutes in, so we got plenty of time. Albert, what's good, man? We got some Spurs fans in the chat. I see how it is. I think some of y'all know my grandparents, rest in peace, both of them, big Spurs fans. My dad actually grew up in San Antonio. And look, the Spurs, to me, always going to be a rival of the Mavs. I can't say I ever cheer for the Spurs to win. But if they do win, I think about my grandparents. And you know what? It's probably not as bad of a feeling as it is for the average Mavs fan. So look, Spurs, a very, very small special place. Like I said, I always think about my grandparents when I think about the Spurs. Hopefully we can get a 1-0 victory here to start out the NBA season. That's the plan. See if it happens. All right, hey, let's talk a little off-season for the Texas Rangers. We'll do World Series stuff at the end. You know what? We got plenty of time for that. Let's talk through some of the things that are coming up here. So clearly, after the World Series is over, we're going to see free agency really start heating up. And after free agency begins, I mean, you could see signings as early as the first, second week of November. But you really have not seen that as much of late. I don't know if you guys remember back during, 2010 after the Cliff Lee trade and when Cliff Lee was a free agent, that all happened pretty quickly. Like within a week, I feel like Cliff Lee was going to the Phillies. You rarely see that anymore. I mean, you remember when Ohtani signed with the Dodgers, it was this long drawn out process. When Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies, it wasn't until after Christmas. Nathan Eovaldi, you remember he signed with the Rangers at Christmas back in 22, 23, whenever it was. It's just not quite as fun as you see for the NBA and even the NFL. I have told y'all for a long time, I badly wish that MLB would adopt more of what the NBA does. When that NBA free agency window opens, it is crazy. It's crazy. You hear rumors, you hear all these hot stove, different scenarios flying around. I love it. I wish they could find a way to bring that to baseball. I feel like the World Series ends, free agency begins, and you've kind of got just this really boring period of time. An occasional signing here and there. I think they really have to figure out a way. How do we get free agency heated up a little bit? How do we do it? That's always been a thing of mine going into every MLB offseason. I'd love to see a free agency window. I would like there to be some pressure on teams to sign players. I don't love that this can drag all the way up until spring training. Guys staying as free agents. Maybe I'm being picky, but I would love to see MLB manufacture some interest, manufacture some drama in this department. For me, it's just so boring to start the offseason, and it could be so much more. Again, everybody coming in right now, we're just talking about the MLB offseason and how it's really developed into a marathon rather than a sprint. And the sprint is clearly what draws the most attention and entertainment to the sport, which I'm a fan of. NBA, I think, has got the market cornered. I'd love to see MLB figure out a way to duplicate, to replicate what the NBA does for their free agency. You got guys signing left and right NBA when that free agency period opens up. MLB has got to find a way to get it done. I would really, really like to see them get creative. They're doing everything else, getting creative, ways to change the game, the stupid ghost runner rule. and all the rest. There's other things that they're concocting up right now. Why not fix this? Get more off-season intrigue, man. Seriously. All right. There's my soapbox for the night. But I will say this. When you look at the Rangers off-season, one of the really big dates that's coming up is the November, I believe, 21st non-tender deadline. Right around there. If I'm off on the date by 1 or 2, forgive me. But the non-tender deadline is going to be really, really interesting. You've got a number of guys, in my opinion, that are non-tender candidates. I think that there are some that are more likely than others, and we've talked about some of those players. But I mean, consider this. The different players that could potentially be non-tenders. First of all, you've got Jonah Heim. You've got Adolis Garcia. You've got other guys as well that aren't necessarily guys you might think of right off the bat, but you've got a guy like Jake Berger that could be a non-tender. You've got other players such as, Josh Smith. I don't think you're going to do that with Josh Smith, but you've got a lot of guys that are available. I would say Spores, Haggerty, Berger, Duran, all non-tender candidates. I think that they are going to definitely non-tender Heim. I don't think any player is going to be traded for Jonah Heim. Maybe cash considerations. I don't even think the Rangers could get a low-level A candidate for Heim. Look, agree to disagree. I just don't see it happening. I think Jonah Heim, most likely, who's going to be due about $6 million next year if the Rangers were to keep him. And you want to give Jonah Heim a raise? I just don't know if that is in the cards for Texas. I think that Jonah Heim could be the most prime non-tender candidate. Adolis Garcia, I do feel like they might be able to get Dolly something for him. Maybe you can get some kind of low-level prospect. I don't think you're going to get a whole lot. I think Adolis Garcia could outright be non-tendered as well. The other guys that I mentioned, Haggerty, Spores, Berger, Duran, we'll see. Those guys are much cheaper. Haggerty would be $1.4 million to keep. He was injured down the stretch. Josh Spores would be $1.1 million. It's pretty affordable for Josh Spores. Ezekiel Duran, $1.4 million. Again, affordable. And Jake Berger, $3.5 million. Not bad. I think you look at $12.1 million for Adolis and $6 million for Heim. That's a little over $18 million. Just those two guys. I think those are clearly the most prime to just be non-tendered. Maybe Adolis you get a little bit from. We'll see what happens. But I think that those two could have a very unceremonious ending to their Rangers career. It's sad considering everything that they accomplished in 2023, but needless to say that the last 2 years have not been good for either one of those players. Now, I think that Rowdy Tellez is really the only impending free agent hitter of note. I don't think there's really any other guy hitting-wise that's going to be a free agent. And I think that Rowdy Tellez most likely will not be brought back. Reason, I think you got Jake Berger. Jock Peterson can play a little first base. I don't think anybody is going to take Jock Peterson. So I do think Rowdy Tellez, we've seen him his last day. And look, his last at bat hitting a 3-run bomb that should have won game 162 for us. Wasn't meant to be. I loved Rowdy Tellez's time with the Rangers, but I cannot see them bringing Rowdy Tellez back. I don't think they're going to be able to move on from Marcus Semien either. I think that maybe they could try to get out from a portion of Marcus Semien's contract. He's owed $72 million over the final 3 seasons of this has been a 7-year contract, right? Dude was phenomenal in 2023, top 3 World Series candidate, but he's coming off a career worst slash line right now. 230, 305, 364 for the slash line. You're talking about a 669 OPS, 15 homers, ended the year on the injured list. Really a career low for Marcus. And I just do not think Texas is going to be able to get out from under that contract without paying a significant chunk of money or paying a significant prospect to whatever team would take him. And I don't think the Rangers want to gut the farm system anymore. I think they'll probably end up penciling him back in at second base. We'll see what happens. What's up, everybody? Appreciate all you guys. Let me say hi to everyone. I know I get on my rant, so I appreciate all y'all reposting. Told you the Dodgers are back in it. I hate that you were right. Signed Schwarber. Richard, what's good, man? I'd love the Schwarber signing. The Springer Dinger was crazy. It absolutely was crazy. Are we firing Nico yet? Nope. Unfortunately, I think Nico is around for a little while, man. It'd have to go south pretty quickly, I think, for Nico to be gone. Whole lineup needs to go besides Seager. We'll see if that happens. Adley Rutschman is being talked about a lot. I just don't know if Adley is going to be all he's being cracked up to be. I don't know, y'all. I mean, look, I'm not turning my nose up at Adley Rutschman, but I can't say that I really am super jacked about that kind of trade. I mean, here's the thing with Rutschman, too. You go get Adley, you're going to give up more prospects. And Adley, is it possible he just had a bad year? Yeah. Is it possible that he just had one really great year, kind of like a couple of certain players we've already talked about on the show? Is it possible that maybe Adley had a really great year and he is not what he was back in 2023 or 24, whenever that crazy season was that he had? I don't know. I can't say Adley is moving the needle big time with me. I'd much rather go get a guy like JT Realmuto, a proven guy that is going to provide some leadership in the clubhouse. Adley, to me, if they do it, fine. I'll be happy about it. I'll get on board. But I just can't say it moves the needle a lot for me right now, if I'm being honest. Just giving you my take there. Catcher market is not super strong. Deterrence, I'm with you on that. Heim is no longer worth it. The framing is just not going to be, I'm with you on this. The framing is not going to be as valuable next year. Jonah Heim was not good defensively. He was not good offensively. I wonder too, I know a lot of you guys like Kyle Higashioka. And man, did I go back and forth with some people about Kyle Higashioka, some Rangers fans. I know that the love for Kyle is strong among some people, but I do kind of wonder if the Rangers potentially consider just starting fresh at the catcher position. You could trade Kyle Higashioka in the offseason and just start brand new. I mean, he's in the second year of his contract, a 2-year deal, so he's going to be a free agent in 2027. You wonder if the Rangers would just go full reset at the catcher position. I don't have any strings attached when it comes to Kyle Higashioka. Like, if they keep him, great. If they don't, no big deal. I don't think what Higgy brought in the second half of the year is anything must have. I think it was nice. I think he had some good games, and I think he got hot during certain stretches, and it was awesome to see, especially after how poorly he started to begin the year. But it surely wouldn't bother me if the Rangers just hit the reset button at catcher. I don't think it's out of the question they cut Heim and trade Higgy to start from scratch behind the plate. JT Realmuto obviously leads the free agent class. Probably going to command around, from what I read, $15 million a year or so. Maybe a 2-year deal. Other catchers that you have available, Victor Caratini, Ranger killer that he is. Danny Jansen is another guy that's available. Look, Ryan Jeffers, Jake Rogers, Miguel Amaya. Those guys are maybe guys you could trade for potentially. I know a lot of people are throwing out the Colorado catcher and Adley Rutschman. I just don't know if those are going to be doable for Texas or not. I would love to see them go get JT. I think it's going to clearly be a little expensive for them, especially when they're cutting the payroll, but I'd love to see them go get JT. The way I see it, you were going to pay $18.1 million for Heim and Garcia combined, and you were going to pay $6 million for Heim. Shoot, you're saving money dumping those two and going to get JT Realmuto. I mean, I'm not a big time math guy, but I'm just saying 18.1 million for Hyman Garcia, 15 million for JT Realmuto. Hello. Go get you a $3 million outfielder to replace Garcia out there. I mean, shoot, they've got young guys that can come up anyways. I don't know. Sounds like a win-win. We'll see what they do. What do I think about Osuna? I think Osuna is going to be a guy in the conversation. I think they're going to invite him to spring training again, give him a shot to make the team. I think that Osuna, there's maybe a little bit of jury still out, if you will. I don't think he got necessarily a super long runway to go out there and prove what he has. I think he got little blips of playing time here and there. I'd like to see him get a 2 or 3 week stretch of playing nearly every day, but unfortunately, Osuna fell victim to the platoon strategy that the Rangers employ with many of their left-handed hitters. Something that I'm really curious about is with Skip Schumacher taking over, what are the Rangers going to do philosophically with the lefties? Evan Carter, Osuna, Josh Smith. What are the Rangers going to do philosophically with their left-handed hitters? Are they going to continue to stay the course, bench most of them against lefties? Evan Carter, obviously, we got to throw him in there too. I've said many times, Evan Carter, this offseason, they need to prioritize getting him to play every day. I would love to see him get a shot. He's got like 50 at-bats in the major leagues against lefties, and they've decided that a former top prospect, which Evan Carter was in our organization, is just a platoon player with 50 career at-bats in MLB. I don't know. I never really agreed or thought that was super wise to do to a top prospect. I would really love to be able to see into the future, what is Skip Schumacher going to do with these lefties? Is he going to give them a chance to develop into everyday players? Is he going to do exactly what Bruce Bochy and company did with the left-handed hitters last year? That to me is one of the most interesting things that I'm looking forward to seeing when we talk about 2026. I would like to see guys like Osuna and Carter have a shot to play every day. I think Carter's going to get that chance sooner than Osuna is. But I'm a big Alejandro Osuna fan. You guys know this. If you've been a fan of the show for a while, you know I love the young guys, Osuna, Freeman, all those guys. I think they're great. I wish they could get more infinite runway. And I say infinite as an exaggeration, but you feel like those guys just did not get that guarantee of getting to play often. And looking back, it's kind of sad with the season and how it ended up that we didn't allow some of these guys to just play more. I know we were like trying to win games up until the last week or two of the season, but when you think about last year, and I know we're still technically in the 2025 season, it really would have been nice to just let Osuna play all of September, right? To let Cody Freeman play every single day in September. I think that would have been the move. I really do. I really do. We keep going. Let me clean up a little bit in YouTube here. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know if there's any other teams really looking at Marcus Semien. Semien for Dalton Rushing, we'll see. Coop, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, he has not ever been a great hitter, although in 2023, he did have a really good year, 95 RBI, but Jonah Heim we're talking about right now. Heim in the postseason was nearly non-existent with the bat. He did have a World Series home run, but the numbers were not great in October for Jonah Heim, even in 2023. But, yeah, Jonah Heim, career-wise, not a great hitter. Not a great hitter. We keep going. Josh Naylor, Pete Alonso, let's see, Kyle Schwarber, Suarez. Yet a lot of those guys are going to get a lot of attention, but they are going to be expensive. Eugenio Suarez, he's going to command some dollars in free agency. He is. I don't know that the Mariners are going to be able to bring him back. Pete Alonso, same thing. Josh Naylor, same thing. It feels like they're going to run it back with Jake Berger. I really kind of doubt that Pete Alonso is going to be a player. I think you could maybe go and get Kyle Schwarber. But here's the thing with Schwarber. You already have Jock Peterson. What are you going to do with Jock? You're just going to eat 17.5 million, 18.5 million? I guess. But that's the tough part. It does feel like, Jake Berger going to be the first baseman. Jock Peterson maybe going to spell him a little bit at first base. I know they had Jock working out at first base a lot coming into the 2025 season. Things kind of changed when he got injured. I would really be curious to see if they do sign Kyle Schwarber, which I don't think is any kind of slam dunk or anything close to it. What do you do with Jock Peterson in that case? Right? I think that, to me, would be the biggest question if you're going to go out and get Schwarber. Let Peterson and Berger walk? I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think there's going to be anybody interested in trading for Jock Peterson. You could maybe flip Jake Berger. You could maybe flip Berg. But Schwarber is mostly DH'd, right? Since his time with the Phillies. I know he played a little outfield for like a second, and that wasn't going great. So he's mainly been a DH for Philadelphia. Harper has played first base primarily for the Phillies. So Kyle Schwarber, not really a guy you want to throw out in the field. If you go get Kyle Schwarber, he's your DH. And then Peterson is basically playing first base, and I don't think you want Jock in the outfield. So if we sign Schwarber, and I don't think that it's highly probable, but look, I would love Kyle Schwarber, absolutely. I don't think it's highly probable. But if they do, there's a big Jock Peterson question. We need to talk about third base. Oh, man, don't get me started on third base. Look, let's talk Josh Young. And we have definitely gone back and forth about Young. I think that you absolutely have to consider Josh Young as a potential change of scenery guy, right? We definitely know that Josh Young has potential in this league. I don't think he's a bum. I don't think he's a bad player. I actually really like Josh Young, and I am a fan. But Josh Young, to me, he is a guy that could potentially be change of scenery. You use him as a trade chip. We discussed the Rangers don't have a lot of wiggle room in the farm system right now, trading away top talent to go get players. You just traded away 3 of your top 15 prospects for Merrill Kelly, who's going to walk in free agency. You didn't win a championship going to get him with that trade. You didn't even make the playoffs. And you're not going to re-sign a 37-year-old that's coming off a good but not great season. I definitely feel like the Rangers are going to be trading major league type players if they are going to be making trades. That's not to say they couldn't trade some lower level players, but I don't think they're going to be trading a whole lot of players out of their top 15 this offseason, which limits you a little bit. And I think if that is the mentality, you got to turn your attention to the major league roster. Now, if you do trade Josh Young, it feels like you've got to get something back in return. Like if you trade Josh Young, you're trading him for a veteran third baseman. You're trading him knowing that you have a free agent third baseman coming your way, maybe an Alex Bregman type, although I think Bregman probably goes back to Boston. And I know some of y'all probably don't want to see Alex Bregman anywhere near this team. But look, Bregman, dude can ball. Dude is a ball player. But I think Josh Young is going to be an interesting one. I would think that all of the players that I mentioned earlier for the non-tender, I think Josh Young is probably the one that is least likely to get non-tendered. I don't know why you would do that at all. But I think that Garcia, Heim, Berger, Young, Duran, all trade chips. I think all those guys could potentially be trade chips. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be interested in Heim. I do think, you could potentially Garcia, Berger, Young, Duran, you could get some players for that. Maybe throw in a couple of mid-tier prospects. That could be a path. But I don't think you're trading any top 10 prospects at this point. Josh definitely has value. There's no doubt about it. He's got value somewhere. But I think the Rangers very well could just run it back with him too. And if they do, so be it. But man, would it hurt if you ran it back with Josh Young and you got the same result. That would hurt. Knowing that you had an opportunity to trade him and probably get some decent value out of him at this point. And I wish Josh nothing but the best, whatever happens to him. I think he's a good guy. And I think that, like I said, he's got all the potential in the world. But it was clear that there was some tension this year. We talked about it on many different shows. You don't hear Chris Young publicly blast a lot of players. And two players this year that got publicly, what I would call blasted by Chris Young, Adolis Garcia and Josh Young. And that's why I said at the end of the season, it wouldn't shock me to see Josh Young get traded. It just wouldn't shock me, because you have clearly some tension between the front office and him. I think that there is, I don't want to say bad blood, but I think there's some hard feelings there. I think it was clear that Josh Young did not appreciate all of the ways that the Rangers were trying to help him get back on track. And he kind of said as much. I know they were talking about it on the DLLS podcast about a month and a half ago. Josh Young was not totally on board with all the things that the Rangers wanted him to do to try and fix his swing. And so to me, I do think he is a potential candidate to be traded. We'll see what happens. But I am not going to be shocked by anything at all. How happy was I that the Mariners lost? As an Astros fan, you were happy? Look, I got to admit, and look, my guy Ryan, appreciate you. I know you can probably appreciate this, because I think you would feel the same if it was the Rangers, right? Like, when any of my rivals lose, I can't say that I was super overly invested in the Mariners J series, but I did watch Game 7, and at the end of it, I was pleased that the Mariners did not advance. I'm sorry. And you know what? I would expect the same thing out of Mariners fans, and I would expect the same thing out of Astros fans. I would not expect or have any kind of entitlement that you were going to cheer for me. I would actually be surprised if you were cheering for the Rangers, if you're an Astros fan or a Mariners fan or an Angels fan or an A's fan. Be like, dude, we're your rivals. Why are you cheering for us? I don't know. I just can't get on board. I know there were some Rangers fans cheering for the Mariners to make their first ever World Series. Is it bad? I kind of was like, yeah, I'd like to see that it kind of continue. I'd like to see the drought keep on going. I don't know. That was me. We keep on going. Hire Pudge as catching coach. I think that's been thrown around a little bit, but I don't know if Pudge is going to be up for it or not. Let's see. Chris Young is a buyer this offseason, asked to support Skip. That is an interesting dynamic. Appreciate you bringing up that angle, man. I think you could see Chris Young making some trades, maybe going out and getting a legit, solid, I don't want to say top tier elite, but I would say above average free agent, maybe trading for somebody that is going to improve the lineup. I think Tyler Mahle could be a candidate, a really prime candidate for a re-sign. There are absolutely a number of different options here, but that is an interesting angle to consider. Will Chris Young spend a little bit more with the new manager at the helm? Look, you can't imagine that Skip hopped on board knowing that we were going to see, knowing that we were going to see a pretty quiet offseason. I just don't think that that's a possibility. I think Skip was definitely promised competitiveness. And, maybe at the end of his contract, we will see something a little bit different. Maybe there will be a little rebuilding to do at the end of his 4-year deal. But I have to think that the first couple of years, he was promised or a commitment was made that the Rangers were going to be competitive. That's what I would think. I got to put y'all in timeout. Y'all are spamming this YouTube badly, man. Jeez. Yikes, man. Y'all quit while you're ahead. Sorry. And I apologize to the people watching on YouTube. That's annoying as all get out. Percentage chance that they trade Semien? I don't know. Don't know. I think I would have to say like 25. I don't think it's 50-50 that they trade Semien. I think it's probably like 25-75. Coop, you're welcome. Look, the show's going to get to a point where I'm going to need a moderator at some point. I know a couple of y'all have offered. I'm just being lazy at this point, but seriously, it's a little too much at times. I didn't want to go for the straight up block. I try not to straight up block, but the spamming is annoying as all get out. Come on now. Y'all got to be better if you're still hanging out. Jeez. JJ, what's good, man? Let's see. What are we going back and forth about? What did I miss? As of now, the Rangers are in the top 3 running for Arise, Bellinger, Real Muto. If that's true, I mean, that's awesome, but I have not heard any of that either. I have not heard that. I mean, we'll see. I haven't heard that at all, though. I definitely feel like the Rangers are going to go out and get somebody up top, but I don't know. I think that it's going to need to take a little time here. I don't think it's going to happen immediately. Keep going. We'll keep going with the questions. We'll keep going with as much as y'all got. We have 37 minutes deep right now. We're going about an hour today. So continue to keep things rolling. I've got a few other things I'm going to throw your way. But at this point, drop questions, drop comments. If I missed something, don't be shy. Repost, and I'll get to it eventually. Cody Bellinger, though, speaking of Cody, that would be a guy that I would love to see join the Rangers. Alex Bregman, I've already talked about. But you think about a lineup with Bregman, Seager, Langford, or Bellinger, Seager, Langford. I don't think there's any chance they get both of those guys. But I think at this point, if you could combine and pair one of those guys with Seager, with Langford, that would be quite the offense. You would think that that would make a difference. I think that Alejandro Osuna would absolutely get a shot, but I just don't feel like at this point, after hitting 212 as a rookie, I think he will probably head back to AAA unless he just kills it in spring training. So I bring that up again to talk about Bellinger. It would be nice to have a guy like Bellinger be able to step in and fill that void at right field. It really would be. Osuna did always put up good at bats. That is one thing that I really appreciated. Always good at bats from him. 100%. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. Jonah needs to go. Yeah, I think Jonah is not a super fan favorite right now, just based on all the conversations I've had, man. I think that you have got 2 years. You've been able to see, you gave him the shot to rebound in 2025. I think at this point, you're going to move on. $6 million for Jonah Heim, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Dalton says, I love Heim, but the body language was bad. Is there any chance Skip brings him back? I don't think so, Dalton. I would be really surprised. I mean, you've got 2 years of not great, and the defensive prowess is going to get even lesser. Heim was known for being a pretty good framer, and now that you got ABS challenge, I just can't see it happening. I cannot see it happening. Maybe. It's possible, but yeah, I'm not sure that I can see it. I think at this point, you got to think about maybe even doing a fresh restart altogether. I don't know. To me, I'm not at all attached to Higgy or attached to Heim. I'd be very okay with them moving on from either one of those. Sorry, had to block a couple of people that are being annoying. Too bad. Very unfortunate. I hate doing that, but if you're just going to spam all day, I guess. The catching market isn't great. Nah, it's not. Real Muto would be awesome. You look at JT Real Muto, you look at all of his baseball savant. It's pretty crazy. It really is. It's pretty wild. It is a lot of red. I would love JT Real Muto. Real quick, Dodgers or Blue Jays? If you're asking me who I want to win, Blue Jays all the way. I would love to see the Blue Jays get their first World Series since the 90s, early 90s. But if you're asking me who I think is going to win, I don't know how you can pick against the Dodgers. I'm going to be nice and say Dodgers in 6. I hope to be wrong. I really hope to be wrong, y'all. Again, hoping it's Jays, but if you're going to ask me who do I think is going to win, I think Dodgers in 6. Issue with catchers now is ABS challenge. For sure it is. And Higgy is a framing catcher, Chris. Appreciate the comment. And Jonah Heim is a guy that's known for framing as well. So you absolutely are going to see those guys become a little less valuable. You need a guy that is going to help you in the running game. That was one thing that was so abysmal for Texas this year. It was like an automatic steal every single time. Automatic steal. You've got to have a guy that can control the running game. JT Realmuto can do that. One of the best pop times in baseball. There's a couple other guys that you could go get. I think at this point, you have absolutely got to make that a priority. You got to go out and get a guy that is not going to allow base runners to steal at will. Cody Freeman back in his old catching position. Sergio, that'd be crazy. No, I don't think they're going to move him back, but man, that would be absolutely wild if they decided to do that. Mavs are starting up here. I'm going to get them on my computer over here so I can follow along a little bit while we go live. We got about 15 more minutes or so on the show. Logan O'Hoppe, I don't know if they would trade him, Chris, in division to us. Move Wyatt back to catcher. That's awesome. Dodgers in 5. There you go. I don't know why they blocked these. Rodrigo, sorry about that, man. Raw B, sorry about that. When I blocked somebody that was spamming, and then it started filtering comments weird, so my apologies. Looking forward to see what Evan Carter does this season. Shoot, I was looking forward to seeing what he did last season. And, he just cannot stay completely healthy, can he? I think this has got to be a positive step year for Evan. You know how this year was a positive step year for Jack Leiter? That's kind of how I feel this year about Kumar Rocker and Evan Carter. Like, it's kind of a show me year. Like, I get it. You've had some tough luck. And Kumar Rocker has had some injuries as well that he's had to deal with. But you feel like Evan Carter and Kumar Rocker kind of got to show you something this year. That's how I feel, at least. I need to see something from them. All right, we got the game on right now. We got Wemby at the foul line. Dallas up 2-1, baby. Here we go. I don't know how far behind I'm going to be for all y'all, but this is fun watching. Good to have basketball back. Phillies DH. Do Rangers sign him? Yeah, Kyle Schwarber, that would be crazy if they did. That would be crazy. Am I doing the Mavs game? Texas Carnage, kind of. Kind of. But I would say at this point, probably a little bit more Rangers than anything else. Mavs up 4-2 right now. Cooper Flag starting. AD out there. PJ. Lively. Man, this is this is going to be a beast of a team to deal with defensively, man. They really are. Beast of a team to deal with defensively. I know KD came out in the Netflix special and said defense really isn't that important. You got to have guys that can put the ball in the bucket. But, man, I don't know. This team is going to be a problem for offenses. It is. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for the follow, Tay. Ideas on what the new City Connects are going to be. That's actually what I'm really excited about, honestly. I definitely am excited about that. I think that at this point, they'll probably find a good time to announce that after the season is over. Cooper Flag, a little short. That would have been fun. 10 minutes left in the first quarter. There's miles to go in this game. Miles to go. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. I definitely think I'm just going through all these comments. I definitely think I'm going to have to do it eventually. Like 44, eventually, man. I'm going to have to break down and get it done. All right. Sorry, just doing some cleanup. Appreciate all y'all. IDK, much love to you too. Rangers host free public tryouts, sign the top 5. I always do kind of think that'd be interesting. Like, I know you see it in movies and stuff, but that would be interesting to have a tryout, just see what you could get just off the street. That would be pretty funny. 100%. We're watching the Mavs and the Spurs right now, casually, while we talk a little of the Rangers as well. Appreciate all you guys. Arthur, I tried my best, but once Game 7 was over, I traded in all my Mariners stuff for Rangers. As I always like to say, wouldn't be a show without the Cal Raleigh comp. Would not be a show without the Cal Raleigh comp, baby. This is fun, man. Nice lob from AD to Lively. By the way, Texas Carnage, if you're still hanging out, I'm going to do the plan for Mavs games this year. I'm going to do all the big games that are on ESPN, TNT, any local games. You know, we'll see. If it's something crazy, I can always pop on and do an emergency show. But for me, I will probably keep it to some of the marquee matchups, some of the national TV games. Definitely love the Mavs, love NBA, big fan. But I will probably balance out my football schedule a little bit by going every once in a while with Mavs. It should be good. I'm excited about the year. I think the Mavs are going to surprise a lot of people. And you're just watching them get offensive rebound after offensive rebound here. This is great. Now, if only they could score it. Skip better keep Mad Dog, man. I would absolutely love to see Mike Maddox return. I mean, the pitching staff was incredible this year. I would love to see that happen. Mad Dog, to me, I mean, he's everywhere he's gone, it feels like lowered the ERA. Oh, man. Appreciate all you guys. I'm just scrolling back through comments as much as I can. But we're fixing to get out of here in just a second. Coop, we'll see you later, man. Couple other things as we end things. I definitely will be keeping all y'all posted on every single thing that I hear. Every Wednesday we go live and we do Rangers off-season stuff. But I will say, during the quiet times, you can absolutely follow me over on X or on Threads. I try and post there as much as I possibly can. So when we're not doing a show, can always follow over on that side. Oh, Spurs up 14-8. They're going on a little run here. Harrison Barnes played for the Spurs, man. Remember the Harrison Barnes years? All my Mavs fans out there? Crazy. Appreciate all you guys hanging out. We are going down to the wire here. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. Albert, appreciate you, man. Go enjoy the rest of the Spurs game, brother. They're looking pretty good so far. Do I upload to YouTube? Yes, I do. I upload to I live stream to YouTube, and I live stream to TikTok, Instagram, X as well. Pretty much everything. The show's getting a little bit bigger every day, I feel like, but it definitely is a little bit slower in the off season. You know how it is, and when there's Mavs on as well, it's tough on these Wednesday nights when you're doubling up. But I definitely have been so appreciative, man, of all the support that I've gotten. This season was a great season for the channel, for the show, and you guys are a big part of that. So I want to say thank you. Good having you guys hanging out. AD at the free throw line. He's pushing it to 14-9, going for 14-10 here. I am curious, both these teams losing records last year. Clearly the Mavs, I mean, the Luka trade, the Kyrie injury, AD was hurt. But I'm really curious to see what both of these teams do. AD makes both 14-10. You'd think that Wemby taking his next step, both of these teams could make it into the playoffs, make it into the play-in tournament at minimum. I don't know if the Mavs are going to be able to be a top 6. It's going to be close. It depends on how well they play without Kyrie, and it depends on how they play when he gets back too. I think the Mavs can definitely get in to the play-in. I would love for them to be able to sneak into a 5 or 6 seed spot, but it's going to be tight. There we go. Mavs just hit a 3-ball, 16-13. Spurs are up halfway through the first quarter. Just stay healthy, AD. 100%. Did y'all see all the funny stuff about Anthony Davis, by the way? Like coming into camp a little bit beefy. And, you know, of course, as a Mavericks fan, the last 7 years with Luka, the offseason weight is always such a big deal, always scrutinized with Luka. And the narrative this summer was Luka was super cut coming into camp and looking great. And then AD shows up a little overweight. I don't want to say overweight, but just carrying a little bit more weight than usual. I think it's just, you know, stuff to talk about online, honestly. But I just thought that was funny. Oh, by the way, a little break here in the action. Yeah, I think the Mavs are going to have a pretty good year this year. I think Cooper Flagg's going to come along pretty quickly. I think you already saw some flashes, and there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, I'm sure. But I just see him picking things up pretty quickly, and I think they're going to be able to stay above water while Kyrie is out. Feels like, and from what I've heard, Kyrie is coming along pretty well. I don't think they're going to rush him back, and I don't know why you would, especially with him getting a little bit older in the league. But it's going to be fun when you get to see this team at full strength. It's going to be really fun. Give us back our Corey. Corey Seager, man, he is, I think, going to be a Texas Ranger for a while yet, man. A while yet. Love Corey Seager, one of my favorite players. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. We are winding down the show. And by the way, Saturdays and Sundays, we will also be live. College football on Saturday. Longhorns heading to Mississippi State for a showdown there. And then Sunday, we will be live as well. Fourth quarter, post-game, Dallas Cowboys going to Denver, going to Mile High to take on the Broncos, who are fresh off a big win, a come-from-behind win. Super improbable over the Giants, man. I did not think there was any way the Giants were losing that game against the Broncos on Sunday. Yep, Denver had other plans in that one. That's going to be a good game, though. So we will be live quite a bit this weekend for that. Looking forward to those games for sure. I'm not taking Mississippi State for granted. Texas, I think, has a lot to prove this week, coming off an interesting one in Lexington. Dallas coming off a big win against Washington. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going. All right, coming back out of the commercial break here. We'll get the Mavs box score up for you guys. Mavs, like I said, hosting the Spurs for anybody coming in live. Coming into the live a little bit after the fact. Mavs going with Clay, going with AD, Lively, PJ, and Cooper Flagg to start things out, getting some of the bench guys in at this point. Game on ESPN, by the way. So far, Cooper Flagg 0 for 2, has not gotten his first NBA points quite yet. Anthony Davis 2 for 5, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Christie has a 3 as well. Early going. Horns can't take anyone for granted with that offense. Heck no, they can't, man. Like I said, Mississippi State, normally I wouldn't have any doubts, but Mississippi State, they've had some decent games this year. Like, they played some teams tough. I am not taking them for granted at all, Brian. Like, at all. Nothing is going to surprise me. What do I think about Flag? I think that he is going to be a force. And I definitely feel like he'll catch on quickly. I know that they're going to be having him run a little point guard. Clearly, they already trust him quite a bit. Seems like a really high IQ player with an incredible motor. I think he is going to be really, really good and surprise a lot of people early on. On the bench right now, though, tough shot, man. Mavs bring it within 4. D'Angelo Russell, nice shot off the glass. Castle fouled. He is shooting free throws at this point. All y'all hanging out, we're watching Mavs Spurs. First game for the Mavs and the Spurs of this NBA season as NBA starts kicking off. It's a great time to be a sports fan, seriously. You've got World Series, you've got football, you've got hockey, you've got NBA starting up. It's a great time. Only thing missing is the is the Rangers in the playoffs. Seriously. All right. Castle misses both free throws, and D'Lo is going to get the rebound here, push it up the court. Appreciate all y'all that have followed so far on the show. Thank you so much for all the comments as well. Max Christie, out of bounds turnover. My guy, come on. Yeah, it took a little bit of a step back trying to drive and just too long of a stride backwards first. Max Christie, he had some solid stretches last year. I know he was kind of a throw-in piece in the AD deal, but Max had some solid stretches, especially to start. He had like all those games in a row with 15 straight points. I hope he continues to take next step. Great 3-and-D guy. AD, get up. Don't do this already. Come on, baby. AD kind of does the crouch down on the floor. You're just holding your breath every time he doesn't get up right away. At least I am, man. Every time he doesn't get up right away, you're wondering, what is it now? What is it now? I know, Brian. That's what I'm saying, man. Every time with AD, dude. Every time. I do think that the Cowboys have a great opportunity to win this weekend. I would be really surprised if it wasn't a good game. Beyond the Bears game, they played every team close. So I feel like it's going to be a good game and probably going to come down to like a final possession. Maybe the Cowboys will be down 7, down 4, down 3, and have an opportunity at the end. I hope that they're up with an opportunity to stop the defense, to stop the offense. But I definitely feel like it's going to be a great back and forth match. Road games are always tough, especially up in Denver, playing at altitude, but I think they've got a good shot. If the Giants can do it with their offense, and I'm not saying that to throw shade, Jackson Dart, Cam Scatteraboo, they got a good thing going. But if the Giants can do it, I think the Cowboys can do it. Will they ever trade Dwight Powell? I don't think so. We thought it was going to be Dirk to Luka, but clearly it's Dirk to Dwight Powell, man. Who knew? Dwight Powell is going to spend probably 20 years with this team before all is said and done. Do I think the Cowboys make the playoffs? I sure hope so, man. Appreciate you seeing you, bud. Thank you for the comment. I think that they have a shot. I've said I think Cowboys finish 9-7-1, 8-8-1 at worst. I see them somewhere around there. AD going to be fouled here. 19-17. Dallas down 2. He's going to be shooting a couple here to tie up this game. AD upset, man. Frustrated. Pretty hard foul, man. Coming right over his head, getting him in the face. They might go and review that one, man. AD is not happy. They might get him, honestly, for a hit to the head. Brian, right? I'm serious. Dwight Powell is going to be with the Mavericks for like 20 years. Seriously. Aaron, appreciate the gifts, man. Thank you so much. Hey, Tex Max, what's good? I gotta get all you guys. What are they doing to me with these comments? Come on now. I approved all of them, man. I gotta turn that setting off if I can even find where it is. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. Comment settings. Let's check this out. All right, I like that one. All right, sweet. Maybe that'll improve things. Let's go, Mavs. Marvin, what's good, man? We don't need to see AD and streak close anytime soon. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Absolutely agree with you on that. I did see Cooper Flag almost poster dunk. Still has not scored his first points. We're hanging out until Cooper Flag scores his first NBA points. That's the plan. Hopefully we don't have to wait all night. Hopefully not. Oh, all right. Not sure what they ruled here. It says call overturned. I don't have the sound on. Did they give him a flagrant? Did they give him a flagrant there? Yeah, I guess they did. Gave him a little flagrant foul. He did come down pretty hard on AD's head. Not totally shocked there. AD's going to hit the free throw. Going to hit the first one here. This one will be to tie it at 19. He makes it 19 all. AD already out to a good start. He has got 8 points on the night after hitting those. 2 for 8. Has been missing some bunnies, but he has had some tough defense played against him to start, man. They have been doubling him a lot. Not giving him any freebies, that's for sure. Mavs going to retain possession with the flagrant foul. AD passes it off to D'Lo. D'Lo with the wild shot as he drove, but he's going to get fouled, and D'Lo's going to go to the line now. It is weird seeing D'Angelo Russell on the Mavs. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's a little odd. But, of course, D'Lo getting reunited with AD. And while Kyrie Irving is out, good to have a guy like him. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I think D'Lo still got some good years in him left. He makes the first one. Mavs retake the lead 20-19. Davis is going to tag out with Kyrie when he comes back. Please, no. Please, no. James, Tony Brothers, man. Never a dull moment with Tony, is there, James? Who do I got in the World Series? I got Dodgers. I want to see Blue Jays win it, but I got Dodgers in 6. I'm being generous. Mavs are going to be good if AD stays standing. Limp Brisket, absolutely. That's how I feel. I mean, look, it's a big if, but I do really feel like if they can stay healthy AD-wise, I don't think there's a whole lot of other injury concerns besides him. You know, maybe Kyrie when he comes back. But, yeah, I think if AD can stay healthy, this is going to be a force in the West. Stephen A. picked them to win the championship. I was so shocked. I did not expect that from Stephen A. Nemhard makes a little 10-foot floater teardrop, 24-20. Vassal's going to hit a little 2-pointer here. Mavs push it down the court fast, quickly. Little give and go, little 2-man ball with Davis and Russell. Maybe that's going to be a thing. AD, tough bucket off the glass. Almost a turnover. Goes off Nemhard. Looks like the Spurs are going to call timeout. Good stuff, man. Little two-man ball there with AD and D'Lo. Okay. Let's see it, man. Let's see it. Davis staying healthy is absolutely a big ask. Absolutely is a big ask. Appreciate all you guys. We're trying to stick around till Cooper Flag scores his first bucket. That was my goal. I did not expect that it was going to take this long. But here we are. Maybe he'll be back after the break. That's the plan. By the way, awards. We got to figure out when MLB awards are going to be announced. Rangers have 5 Gold Glove nominations, by the way. They are going to reveal those on November 2nd. So in about 10 days, they're going to reveal Gold Glove winners. Sunday, November 2nd on ESPN. Silver Slugger will be announced on the 6th and the 7th. What about Cy Young? Don't see it. But there you go. You got a little bit there. No Mavs gear? I should have. Honestly, I don't even know. It's been a long day. Forgive me for that. Forgive me for that, my guy. Party foul by me for sure. And y'all know I've got a bunch of Mavs gear. Big time party foul from me. Could have at least gone Mavs shirt. Now I feel bad. Now I feel bad. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Limp Brisket, appreciate the follow, man. Thank you so much. Look, plenty of Mavs ball left to be played, and for all y'all coming in a little bit late, we will be live for the national broadcast for sure, I think, for the Mavs games. But some of the games in between, you know, the random Monday nights in Charlotte, I don't know if we're going to be live for all of those. Texas Rangers, I'm usually good for just about every game, but in the football season, we got weekends covered Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe a couple of Mavs games throughout the week. That's kind of the plan. Hidden talent? No hidden talents, man. Nothing like that. Nothing crazy, that's for sure. Hidden talent for me, operating on like 3 or 4 hours of sleep every day. There you go. Which is what I'm doing today, man. That's why I didn't get the Mavs gear in line. That's what I blame it on. Oh, Brian, 1,000% Mavs versus Luka games. Mavs versus Luka games for sure. We're going live for those. Do I think the Rangers will keep Garcia? No, I do not. And look, I don't say that disrespectfully. Dolly is going to be a franchise legend for a long time, but I think that they are going to open up with a new right fielder. I think they will either non-tender or they will try and find a trade partner for Adolis. I don't see any other alternative there. Yeah, Luka, by the way, loses game 1 last night. I was watching a little bit of that game. Luka had a pretty good game. I mean, per usual. But Lakers lose. No LeBron. We'll see how the Lakers are this year. I think you and I both know Luka's a special player, but when you don't have all the tools around Luka, he can only take you so far. Only going to take you so far. Cooper Flag back in the game, by the way. Najee goes up and he gets packed, man. He did not have the path that he thought he did as he drove into the paint. He's going to play some good defense here. Spurs are going to turn it over. Come on, Coop. Let's go. Get the first bucket, man. Come on. Albert, I'm not trying to see an 0 for 12 from Flag. Don't put that evil out there, Albert. Come on now. Come on now. Pedro, appreciate the follow, man. Thanks so much. All right, Mavs got the ball. D'Lo driving. He goes up and he draws the foul. Mavericks getting some foul calls early on. They are in the bonus now with 2:25 left in the first quarter. D'Lo, he's already on the day. Let's see. He's up to 3 points. He misses the first. Man, he puts an arc on that free throw shot, doesn't he? That is a rainbow. But the second one's good. Let's see what we got. ESPN's lineup. Timberwolves against Lakers on Friday. There you go. There you go. That's a pretty good matchup. Lively back in. AD on the bench right now. Lively with the rebound. They're going to call loose ball foul here? Loose ball foul on San Antonio. Okay. 25-23 Dallas. We'll get a little audio going. But that's when you need to get low and use your leverage. Lively shooting free throws right now.
So the third foul on Cornet as Lively hits the first free throw.
And he hits both free throws, man. Good for Lively. Good for Lively. I know free throws have been a little hit or miss for him. You like to see that. This guy could start getting that free throw shot going, man. You don't even have to worry about the late game scenarios. All right, 27-23, 2 minutes left. Still waiting on Cooper Flagg's first NBA bucket. What if the Rangers sign the king of JUCO, Eric Sim? He's awesome, man. I love watching him online. Nice steal by Flagg, man. Great steal. D'Lo can't hit the three ball in transition. Great steal by Cooper Flagg. There's that defense at work. Derek Lively, just a beast down there. He's going to get called for a foul here, man. This team is just going to be so good defensively. It's fun to watch. Like, I know it's an offensive league, but it is fun to watch this team fly around, playing great defense. It's just hard to drive the paint. You got Lively, you got Flagg, you got AD. I mean, look, we're not even talking about the Mavs being at full strength. I mean, when you got Gafford, you got Flagg, and you got Lively. Wemby just putting one over the top, man. That Lively, not much to do there, man. Wemby just right over his head. Flagg, first shot. Lively, a little loose ball foul, looks like, away from the ball here. Hawks for sure, fan of baseball. Absolutely. Albert, that was a poster. That was a poster. Here's Lively, Wemby again. Wemby's going to pass it off, finds the open man. Flagg with the rebound, pushes it down. Passes it off. Christie can't hit the corner. Come on, Christie. Eric Sim folds to lose the World Series. Put the Mavs hat on. Man, I don't even know if I have it close by. Richard, I got to get my act together. Badly.
Not exactly your normal inverted pick and roll. But they'll be able to run a lot of that stuff when Cornet and Wembanyama are in the game. That 5-4 ball screen action in the middle of the floor is going to be difficult.
27-26. Mavs still up. 36 seconds left in the first quarter here. We'll ride it out till the first quarter, and then we're going to wrap things up for the day. Albert, it's all good, man. You know I'm good for it. We welcome fans from the opposing team hanging out, man. We sure appreciate you. Wemby's going to miss the second. Brian, thank you. It is not called right on Mavs. Mavs trying to go a little 2-for-1 here at the end of the quarter. D'Lo going to be at the foul line again, man. He is being aggressive. He's going to make the first free throw, 29-26. Good stuff. Mavs should be able to get a last shot here. D'Lo, by the way, with a nice first quarter. 6 points, 4 for 6, 1 for 3 from the field, 4 for 6 from the line. Wemby, little ISO here against Najee. Fade, man, what a shot. 4 seconds left. D'Lo's going to heave it up. It was close. Was not meant to be, though. Hey, appreciate all you guys. That's how we're going to end things for today. We're going to go watch the rest of this game. It's safe to say we're going to have plenty of time over the years to talk Cooper Flagg making shots. Flagg still looking for his first points. We'll be back on Saturday. We will be covering, again, Longhorns at the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Should be a good one. And then we'll be back Sunday as well to talk Cowboys, Broncos. When is that game on Saturday, by the way? Let me see if I can pull this up here. They have, let's see if they've announced the time. 1:15. Cool. That works out perfectly. 1:15. That's my time. So 3:15 Texas time. So we'll be back fourth quarter and post game for that Texas Longhorns game. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Hey, have a great rest of the night. Appreciate all you guys. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers. Go Mavs. Bye now.